race, color, ethnicity, national origin, language, immigration status, economic status, sex assigned at birth, religion, creed, disability, gender expression, gender identity.
So I'm sorry, can somebody clarify for me, what exactly do you want to put in that it is not existing in this policy statement? You know, inequity is the norm, okay, in the United States and in our district. That is the norm. So who is missing from that statement? What is missing from that statement?
What I'm asking, what I'm asking to understand, or to clarify, I should say, is how this is not exclusionary. The way that it's written to me, and but
who's being excluded? That's why I'm asking you.
Anybody who's
excluded.
Anybody who may, I say this, again, I'm going to kind of become personal about this, but as a Jewish person, I, had always heard these stories of terrible, terrible, terrible anti-Semitism. People weren't allowed to move into certain neighborhoods. People weren't allowed to belong to certain clubs. That's why there are all these Jewish hospitals, et cetera, okay? So I heard these stories. I never felt it until I was much older, until I was in high school. Never felt it, never knew about it, and now I know about it. I'm saying these things for groups that aren't included here might not, it feels exclusionary because things change. And because things change, I worry that this language is too restrictive, I guess is a word, and it flattens the conversation when it's not, when the intention is not at all to do that. And I really, I understand the intention. I don't think the policy achieves the intention. And that's what I want different, if I can speak that directly. I would like it to be more, or I guess less specific.
I totally disagree with that. I mean, I do understand, and I know quite a bit about Jewish history as well. And there was a time before Jewish people decided that they were going to join the group of white people, like all the other ethnic
groups.
Kimberly,
that's not quite. Yeah, that's not. I would ask that you take that statement back, because that's not really true. But
it is really true, because
it isn't true.
99% of people who are of Jewish ancestry say that they are white in the United States. Abby, I'm not making this up. You can look that up at the Pew Charitable Trust. They have one of their reports, and it states that.
Okay, I think this is becoming. I think we're sort of going off tangent. I respectfully disagree with that for sure.
I don't think that it is. I mean, every group. The Irish at one point were considered, an other. The Italians, when they came to this country, also. But eventually, everyone who is of Western European descent, that's the group that they're in. I'm not European. And no matter, the other groups are not ever going to be in there. Period.
I'm astonished if that was a board member speaking, Kimberly, making a comment about Jewish people choosing whiteness, like as if that would be an acceptable thing to say in public.
But I'd just like to say that I'm absolutely horrified at the comments made by Kimberly this morning, saying that Jewish people choose to be white is quite possibly the most ignorant and racist comment I've ever heard in this community.
First off, I want to say that I am not anti-Semitic. Anna Chirac and I both made objective statements regarding the demographics of the Jewish population in the United States. We stated facts from U.S. government census and other reports.
You could have just made an apology and said, sorry, I didn't mean it that way. And most of the people in this room wouldn't be here.
That anti-Semitism can be defined as the expression or manifestation of hatred, violence, hostility, or discrimination against Jews because they are Jews. Therefore, labeling me anti-Semitic is not only untrue, but is also defamatory.
Please reach out to someone to try to understand why what you said is hurtful instead of doubling down on that.
In this political climate, and especially as a Black woman, to call me such is to weaponize the term in order to stop any authentic and constructive dialogue and to intimidate me to silence. There are even community members who have been harassing my family and I over social media.
And I think it's
horrific that she has to go through all of this harassment, overstating facts.
This is classic anti-Blackness and racism in action. It is a campaign of intimidation. Additionally, I take issue with you policing my tone. It is well documented that Black women are consistently perceived by Caucasian people as overly aggressive. Nor should I have to succumb to a public witch hunt brought about by people who take exception to the truth. According to the U.S. government, the U.S. Census, and countless scholars and academic institutions, Jewish people have been racially classified as white in this country.
Broadkin wrote an article in 2004 about how the Jews became white. This is not an idea that was made up. This is in scholarship. People who go to school to study education, leadership, study this. This is reality. It's not an anti-Semitic thing. It's something that was done legally because white recognition came with white privilege.
This is a fact. This is not, I'm not finished speaking. I am not finished speaking. Thank you. This is not an anti-Semitic statement.
We are not going to advance dialogue if we operate within the rubric that Jews are white.
This policy is meant to protect everyone. There is nothing within the wording that leaves out any known groups of people. It is not our job to create solutions for possible scenarios, but rather to protect the children within our care right now. Thank you.